Plant Archer in the house.
Mr. Randon.
Yes, Ken.
Hey.
Everything blessed.
Hey, everything is always blessed when I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Oh, man, it's
How
great
long
to
has it
see you.
been now?
7 years, but you know, I came back last month, so.
Okay.
Right. Man. You know, it's sometimes you do these podcasts and like, you know, I can even take the word podcast and throw it in the garbage. Because what I have is like when you get together with friends and brothers and like people that you love, man. I don't watch this man for years. I had a shop next door called a Trading Post, Native American Indians shop.
Yeah. We was the vibes of the middle yard.
The vibes of the middle yard of Camden. That's where Camden Town, the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, first started. And when I came here, it was amazing because I walked into Camden. I came from Denmark, and I walked right into Camden Town, and it was like I was home almost immediately. Like when I got here, and one of the first persons that I saw that had his pitch right up on the lock in between was this man right here from Massive International.
Yep.
With Clappers and all the other family.
Yeah, me and Clappers came here together in 1986.
1986.
Yeah.
What was Camden like in 1986?
1986, Camden was kicking.
Yeah?
Camden was a Londoners market.
Yeah.
Yeah, young Londoners. Hip Londoners. Londoners who knew music, knew fashion.
Uh-huh.
And was socially and politically aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of people Camden attracted.
So what kind of people were coming around Camden at that time? I mean, what kind of heads were there? Like people that stuck out. Doesn't have to be famous people, because, for example, we got James Harris.
Okay.
Our brethren that does, like, you know, y'all wouldn't know him, but James Harris does the trash at nighttime. He goes and picks up everything off the canal for you and Burger King and all them other places. And I don't care if I get sued. I ain't got nothing for y'all anyway. But, you know, James Harris would come out and he would come out and kick it with us. He was a musician. He had an impediment, but he was just one of the most positive people I met. Who was people like James and like that was back then?
There was a lot of people like that.
Yeah?
Really. A lot of characters.
Yeah.
Too many to mention, but because everybody was unique. Everybody had their own style and they had their own... put it this way, the people who came to Camden were all individualists.
Right.
They didn't follow.
That's right.
And
sound familiar.
Yeah.
It sound familiar, Bridget.
So you just fit in straight away because you come with your style.
Because you knew it. It was there. By the time you got there, you knew that was your place. You know these were your people.
Mm.
There wasn't no separation, you know. And one of the things since I got back, I noticed that I can contact or go up to anybody here, man, and I just be like, hey, you look beautiful. Oh, you look amazing. And the response from people is so beautiful. I can only imagine what it was like back then.
Yeah.
And that was that when our former our brother that used to own the place market, Mr. B, was that when he on the other side? That was Alan, and on this side,
and
Amon.
I forget his name now, but Northside Development had a policy in this market where everything had to be individual, handmade arts and craft.
Right.
It had to be something original. And the gift what Alan had was that he never forgot a name.
Yeah.
When we first came here, it was a 6 months waiting list to get a pitch in Camden.
Right.
Yeah. And people would... Nickel Yard was where aspiring traders would pitch their wares to Alan, hoping that Alan would give them a pitch.
Yeah, man.
Because we were part of a youth development movement at the time, everybody was kind of politically sensitive to us.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to be seen to be racist.
Yeah.
So Alan initially gave us a blind thinking that we wasn't going to last
you got your token.
2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
It was like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a different attitude towards the music, especially the music what we bought here, because we came here
with the roots
and the dancehall tip. Because it was mid 80s.
I have to tell y'all something. There's something that y'all got to understand, because we're talking to an international audience. When you're talking dancehall, you're talking about the people of the Windrush generation, the people that came over here from Jamaica, and they were asked to come over after the Queen had left. They retired the flag. They came back to England. Was no longer a colony, and when they came over, there were no homes. There were no jobs for the black people. So they promised, like, yeah, come over to England, make some money, hook it up, man, make your business over here. It's kind of as like a little bit of a sorry.
Let me give you a breakdown of what the Windrush was.
Yeah.
Basically, after the Second World War, the Windrush bought the troops who came from the Commonwealth, like i.e. Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados. They were the ones who Windrush was the ship what transported them back to the West Indies.
Yeah.
Now, because England needed rebuilding after the Second World War, they opened up for the Commonwealth to come and work and help England rebuild. Mm-hmm. But that invitation was to the Commonwealth, meaning Australia, South Africa, and Canada. Mm-hmm. But because they're living so good in those countries, none of them was attracted to come to England to do the kind of work what England wanted them to do.
Especially after the history.
Okay, so the captain of the Windrush, when he brought the troops back to the West Indies, mm-hmm. he didn't want to come back with an empty ship. But he knew of this thing that it was open to the Commonwealth. But initially, it wasn't for blacks.
Yeah.
It was for the white Commonwealth, right. Not the black Commonwealth.
Yeah.
So, but this hadn't been distinguished. But he, knowing that the country was open to the Commonwealth, invited any ex-soldier who wanted to go back to England free passage on the Windrush.
Right.
Because he didn't want to come back with an empty ship.
Yeah.
So this is how the first
Jamaicans,
Trinidadians, Barbadians
blessed the ocean and brought culture over to the United Kingdom.
Came to England. And in coming here, initially, the people who invited them mm-hmm. was on a short-term basis. Mm-hmm. And most of the people who came here on a short-term basis aspirations.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to make
money
their
and
money,
get back and buy land.
And get back and buy land and buy a house, yeah. etc.
We all thinking like that.
But it's been well documented that they couldn't find place to rent. And then eventually they had to buy. Mm-hmm. Once you've bought your house, then you're going to raise a family. And it's when we start, me as being a first generation born here, mm-hmm. the policy changed because they wasn't expecting that they were going to have offsprings here. Like
Picnics them. Picnics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well documented that Enoch Powell come with this Rivers of Blood speech, and he foresaw what was going to happen.
Yeah.
That us growing up here wasn't going to take, it wasn't going to be as humble as our parents was.
Right.
Because the ignorance in this country at that time
was huge.
Very huge.
I remember they were talking about the Indian population. How they, I see the videos, they were like, that food stinks. And that's a horrible smell. And like, it was really bad at that point. Like, you couldn't even make some curry goat or whatever was traditional for you because, the English had their own thing. So I seen the lady with the glasses on, and she's like, we call them Karens in my Turtle Island, United States. Turtle Island, the original people of that land that I come from. And the one thing about the food that we ate, that it triggered them, and the music that we bought, it triggered them, but it also, it propped up the youth, and their youth at first were adversarial, but then they come for us. They came for you, and they said, man, this music is wicked. Man, these people are beautiful. These people are different, and I like their difference. So what do you think about that?
Well, we brought a lot of culture here.
Yeah.
That's what we came. That's why our parents came. At the same time, the ones who did come here didn't come here with a view that they were gonna make their culture overtake.
Yeah.
They came with a manners and respect to England as the mother country.
To become a part of what it is.
Yes, but us growing up here now,
it's another.
we didn't accept. Okay, we love football, but that's where it ended.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of us growing up we had white friends, of course, we had Indian friends, but when we discovered and realized that our music was teaching us about our culture,
yeah,
we gravitated to it because we felt more comfortable
with your culture,
with our culture, than trying to be a second-class citizen in a culture which, from want to say of a better word, sometimes didn't
accept you. I know that feeling. I think we all know that feeling, even in our own cultures, in our own countries.
But it's good because
change is inevitable.
We was born here. We have a unique
perspective
because we've grown up with two cultures.
Right.
We haven't completely rejected the culture where we grew up in, but at the same time, because we have our Jamaican culture and music and sense of
identity,
it gave us a unique perspective in terms of, like, a lot of our Jamaican cousins, when they came here, they didn't come here and feel alienated.
Right on.
They came here and knowing that there was part of Jamaica here when they came, so they felt at home straight away.
Yeah, there was a nest already there built within our people, each of us.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you, T. You're kind of like, for me, I mean, Tony Randon, if you look at the artwork behind here, that's his brother. This is Clive Randon.
Clive Woodstock.
Clive Woodstock, yeah, different last name?
Yeah, we're the same mother, different father.
I understand that. I had that as well. So Clive was an artist that passed away. I had the pleasure and the honor of meeting him, and he documented the photos of the period of, that would be the 90s, early 90s?
No, 80s.
80s. Boom, 80s. So that would be 80s. Like the 80s, yes. Now, the party scene. And we're going to show you the photo.
I'll show you where Clive get his influence from. He had two influences.
Because pre-Boondocks, because that's the best.
Yeah, well pre-Boondocks.
Well,
there was an artist named Ernie Barnes who done the cover for one of Marvin Gaye's LP. And he done like a barn dance. I
remember that. That's the one that they use for Good Times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
powerful image.
Very powerful image. But he captured the 30s dancehall scene.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And Clive used that influence to capture the 80s dancehall scene. At the same time, he was influenced by Marvel comics and things like that.
Oh yeah. More money than I can not be.
He used to...
Yo, cheers, man. Like
from the age of 3, he could do all of the Marvel superheroes, and we used to use them as posters on our wall because we couldn't afford to We couldn't afford to buy those things.
Right on.
But by the time he reached 12 now, he started creating his own superheroes. Smoke gets in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an indication for us to move this. This is a piece of incense. You know, when you're around African folks, we like it to smell good in the room as well. We can't really promote the incense, but if you would like to promote the original African Indians and the Hatcher effect, you can contact me, Ant Hatcher, or Tony Randon. All right. Go ahead, T.
No, that's what I'm saying. Clive, it was... he put on canvas the image of that period. He captured it perfectly on canvas.
I had that. That was one of my first posters that I had in Camden, because you gave it to me. And I put that on my wall everywhere that I lived. Even when I was living next door to my house and all them people squatting, whatever I was doing at the time, I always had that poster up on my walls. And it reminded me of, I mean, it just felt so home, because it reminds me of the old school days of Harlem. You know what I mean? And it reminds me of just when we get together, and what I noticed at that is such a mixed culture, because when you see that, you got the extreme characters. One character looks like Mr. T. You got you and your brethren on stage with the cameras, like looking all slick, and everybody, even the bartender, looks like some people that we know. So like he just captured the essence of what it is to be just an African living outside of Africa for me. Because, like, you know, we have such a powerful essence that when you look at the ancients, it's all within us right now, and we still carry on like that. You still sell unks. You still, you know, understand like our Hermetic culture goes back since way before time. And nobody talks about our spirituality like that.
There was a time when there was a lot of record shops, bookshops, cultural shops in London.
Yeah.
We're talking at the 80s now, when we started, like, we started promoting our own culture in the 80s. We started expressing ourselves. We started making people know that we wasn't going to take the same shit what our parents
took.
You know, and the music, because in the 80s we had this thing, ragamuffin. Well, in English, a ragamuffin is what they call a street urchin.
Yeah.
You know, like Oliver Twist, this kind of
yeah.
But for Jamaicans, a ragamuffin was somebody who was going to get his own. He was going to get what is his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what. Yeah, we wasn't going to talk about sufferation and whoa, we are suffer. No, we're not
like
suffer.
Smiley culture.
We're going to take.
Like Smiley culture.
Smiley culture was a man who take top.
And we know what happened with Smiley.
Yeah, well, you know, some of
we say
he had a lot of confidence.
Yes, he did.
Himself.
Does it look at me?
And there was nothing wrong with that. And
yeah.
A lot of us had confidence in ourselves at that time. Because basically the streets we thought belonged to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I left, I heard about Grenfell Towers and what had happened here. And it just seems that the only way to do it here inside the United Kingdom, you know, being like, you know, I was a squatter. Like, just so y'all know, I was a squatter. I was a guy that lived in underground places, but every place that I went was better and better and better. And I got with crews that were doing things and making things happen, doing music, having gardening and like guerrilla gardening and artists and musicianship and building dance studios. And one of the main things that I was thinking about is right here is like, it's not easy for folks to get through these borders all the time. Like, they're making it hard for now the UK to make it hard for people to go throughout Europe. Now that's something big, T. And look, like with y'all, like everybody that's listening right now or watching the podcast, you know, we're just regular people, man. Like we just carry on every day like you. No, we got our superpowers too, and everybody got their superpowers and their ability. But there's a lot of people in this world that I find that are separated from their families, their mothers, their loved ones, or maybe you meet a beautiful, wonderful woman and like you fall in love with her, but for some reason y'all gotta go like this because this entity is there telling you you can't go this and do that. I always felt that no matter where I was, it was the same green trees, the same air that we breathe, the same water that we drink, because everything's connected. I'm not into the borders, B. I mean, I'm really not into the borders. I don't like them. I don't like that how they criminalize people. If you have something on your record, they want to say that you can't do this or that. I'm just tired of these people running the world, right?
I've never put boundaries on myself.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
From as young as I can remember, I've always said to myself, there's nowhere I cannot go.
That's right.
If I want to go. And that's how I've lived my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in Harlem, I met, I know there's a lot of controversy regarding my brother Africa Bambaataa, you know, but, you know, I'm not going to get involved in the controversy. I'm just going to say my personal experience. When I was walking through Harlem, you know, there was a part of the neighborhood, man. Listen, I was a little kid. I got jumped. Like, you know how as a crazy people jump, you know, like, and I had to fight back and get away and all that stuff. And, you know, it was scary and like embarrassing. For a while, I didn't even walk down the streets that I used to go to school down because it was like, I was, you know, it was always in the back of my mind until I was a little bit bigger and I could handle it. But when I walked up to Bambaataa, I saw him walking down with Zulu Nation, down one of the streets, one of the side streets that, we're not talking about main streets, when the side streets in Harlem was where things went down.
Right.
And I saw Bambaataa and I walked up to him and I knew my big brother Renard, my best friend in the world. I knew you met Renard, you know, because he loved you, man. He always asked about you.
Okay.
And I saw Bambaataa and I walked up to Bambaataa, man, and I said to him, I said, you know, aren't you afraid of walking down this street? I was a little kid. I was maybe 12. And he said, I ain't afraid to walk around any of my streets. So he instantly told me to claim where you're from. Every street, every corner. And being in England, you got the Caucasians, you got the racists or whatever. But what I see is an excellence here, man. There's a beauty about England. I can't explain it to people. Because when they come here, they always go to like Oxford Street and they trying to do all that corny stuff. But when you come to Camden Town and you go to the right places, man, and you meet them people that's just off the wall, that's not conforming, that's what this is. Well, how has this changed? What went wrong? What went wrong, brethren? You know and I know, but let's tell the world. Let's set it as a testimony. We don't have to name no names. I don't like to be sued. I like to have my motorcycle and my little car to make it across America. But let's tell the truth. What happened, man? We still here, and it's still beautiful, but what happened?
Well, it became a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. First tourists probably came here thinking, because we're close to the zoo. So they...
You see all the punk rockers and see like giraffes and like...
They come to see the freaks that come there.
Lucky Charm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it became a tourist attraction. Yeah, that's what happened. And with tourism, obviously, money's going to follow it.
Yeah?
Gentrification's going to follow it too.
My man, we're going to say the name T.S., he take it from our brother B, who are both from the land of Israel. He changed the whole outlook of the whole place, man. It's like very plasticky now. The food is more expensive and less quality. And the vibe is really on the periphery of Camden Town. And listen, this is funny because we're talking about Camden Town, but there's something else y'all got to understand. It's not just Camden Town. There was New York had happened years before with Giuliani.
Talking about Greenwich Village.
Greenwich Village, the whole of New York. Okay. It changed. Like squatting, the first thing I find whenever you got a problem is when they make squatting illegal, there's an issue. Because you got thousands of properties all over England and all over the world that are empty that nobody's using and doing anything with. And you can absolutely fill that up with artists, musicians, even people that can help other people and more that are more in destitute.
London's always had a big spot in.
That's what created the music scene. The Clash. I mean, and for us, it was the Bad Brains. You know, I'd let you talk to Gary, Uncle G. You know, I want to give a shout out. Shout out. This is a podcast. We just kicking it. Dr. No, my brother up in Kingston right now, but up in Woodstock, Daryl, Jennifer, all them people, the Ramones, everybody that we grew up. Because, I mean, we was kids. I used to prank call Joey Ramone. You know that?
Okay.
He used to be in Washington Square Park, and he'd be like on acid and stuff. He'd be standing there, and I walk up to him, and I'd be like, "Hey, yo, Joey, you coming to the party?" And he'd be like, "Yeah." You know, the glasses on and stuff. And I got his number, so every Friday we would call him with my friends. We was kids. We were like, "Hey, Joey, you coming to the party?" "Yeah." There's so many people here still on the streets that's just like that. You walk up to them, and they're just those type of people. There's not, I mean... People said that Camden changed, but you can't change the heart of Camden.
No, you can't change the heart of Camden. You're right.
The heart of Camden is like the fact that me and you and brothers like us can still sit here right now and do this is absolutely phenomenal, family. Listen, for all y'all that listening, I'm a musician, I'm a band member. This man is the top notch for reggae music, but not just reggae music, history. You can talk to this man about anything in the world we talk to you about. People come here like you're the oracle. See, I tell them like this is the oracle. Your daughter, Naya, talented. Belts it out in the West End. She can, Britta what, Amy Winehouse what. Your daughter, Naya, can belt it out. Kessie, military minded, ready to hit. Boom. Like, if she was Naya's manager, Naya would be...
Okay. Well, that
top notch.
That can happen.
And but Naya has to listen to Kessie.
Exactly. Exactly. It's because you don't take no shit.
Says you don't take no shit. All right. Now listen. Who are your influences, man? Who was the people that really got you to do what you was doing? Who are the people that you thought I love? Like, mine was my big brother, Louis Armstrong. Like, so many characters of my generation.
I think one of my cousin, Birch, was a member of a band called Tribesmen. Tribesmen, yeah.
All right.
And Tribesmen was like not only a band, but there was also like a community activist group, which was based in Finsbury Park.
Okay.
Blackstock Road. They used to have a house there called what they call the Black House.
I heard about this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a place where, it's in the 70s, a lot of us started gravitating towards Rasta. Mm-hmm. And it brought conflict with our parents.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were made homeless at that time.
Yeah.
Well, what the Black House used to do was take in the homeless and educate. Mm-hmm. So the first time I came to Camden was 1976. Tribesmen played in that place there, Dingwalls.
Dingwalls. Right across from us is Dingwalls, one of the most famous. Who was playing in Dingwalls? Like, let's think about, all right, there's two things. First of all, because my shop was next door to you, we got the rush of everybody from the Foo Fighters to Elton Ellis to...
Debbie
Harry,
Coldplay,
KRS-One.
KRS.
Can you remember Step Big Chris? Yeah. And you had everybody step through here. Bill Murray. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can go down the list. Amy, we used to sell T-shirts outside Amy Winehouse, in Camden. That was my...
Sade was here one time.
Sade. Ooh, I bet she came on the cloud like sweetest taboo. Mm-hmm. She must have been nice to chill with. She coming here?
Not in here. But she had a story with that.
I'd have been like, marry me, girl. Sade is fine, boy. She's fine in so many ways. Like a lady. Like, Sade is a lady. You don't hear nothing bad about... That's the thing about these people. You don't hear nothing bad about people like Sade. Or, or even like Billy Idol. Not Billy, what's his name? Billy Joel. They just always people that just say, yo, I just want to do my thing and I love what I do. Like, the least problems, the better. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you get on stage and you get people together you do the sound systems. You know, I don't want to say all love and respect. I went to Brighton today and I did my prayers at the ocean. But I wanted to give my respect to a brother that passed away, Josh Shaka. Mm-hmm. I got to talk about Josh, because I remember going into that sound hall. Remember, because England has wet, cold weather. I was sick. I was feeling cold, fluey. I was congested. And I walked into Josh Shaka, and I just felt them vibrations from that bass, and it just reverbed through every atom in my body. I know, because when I stepped out, I was feeling refreshed, clear, without any symptoms at all. I think Josh Shaka could kill COVID 20 times over. And I don't care who sues me, whatever, man. Like, I had a half brother that passed away. Don't talk to me. Like, I'll say what I want to say. And he will too. That's the whole point of being here right now. We want to speak real with everybody. Because we're family, man. We passed that point of being corny. Right?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, tell me about Josh Shaka and your relationship, because I know y'all was close. I know you, Tony, you were everybody. Anybody from Lee Perry to anybody that's stepping here, they love you.
Josh Shaka has influenced a lot of us in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Anybody who was into roots music, at some points, you were going to go to a Josh Shaka session. And it was like a, how would you say? It was like a spiritual, spiritual experience. Yeah. Because it's like after a while, the music got to you that you felt like it was in a space by yourself. Mm-hmm. You felt like it was part of something, like where you had no fear of anything what was gonna approach you when you leave that dance. Yeah. Took the fear away. The fear are gone. It's like it was a warrior ritual. Mm-hmm. When you came out of a Shaka dance, you just felt like you've been exercised. Yeah. It does feel that vibration from the basement. Okay, you have Dingwalls, which is the place that's right here, just right across from us, from the reggae shop, and maybe about 100 meters away to the right is the bridge, the Camden Lock, which is the bridge millions of people go through, and that bridge was vibrating like that. Like you could lay down that bridge and get a massage. You know, that's. Josh Shaka would bring these bass bins and like, you know, like I said, every atom in your body will go. But that's pretty much the sound system, what real sound system is anyway. Mm-hmm. I saw a few shows. We went to the Jazz Cafe recently. I saw a show, but it didn't have that real drive in it, even though it was live and powerful. Mm-hmm. You know, how do you get like musicians, like, you know, who are the musicians that got that type of feeling that you find right now that's out there? Like, if somebody said, yo, if you look at these people right now, you know, those are the people that got that vibration when they send out their music. Like, who's that? Who do you think is out there now? As far as live music? Uh-huh. Well, there's good live musicians out there. So, uh-huh. But unfortunately, we don't have a band who is out there as a band and not just a backing band. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. And after Aswad, I can't see anybody else who's really taking that mantle of being a band what represents England as musicians. That's Steel Pulse? Steel Pulse too. I'm talking London. Misty and Roots? Misty and Roots. That's one of my favorites. I saw, you know, my friend Marcina Arnold, she's married to Masengi, who's the Trump saxophone player for Misty and Roots. I saw them in Dusseldorf, and they were wearing all white, and I remember the two most powerful bands I saw that weekend, even though Steel Pulse was there, everybody, Lee Perry was playing, was Misty and Roots and Dennis Brown, because Dennis Brown did the most amazing version of Natural Mystic I ever heard, except if it was Bob. As if Bob and Dennis took that song and were created from that same song together. Mm-hmm. Like that was their birth. Dennis have the voice.
Dennis Brown. You told me some good stories about Dennis. Dennis Brown was Bob Marley's favorite singer, just so y'all know. And he was, they call him the Crown Prince of Reggae. But, you know, you got Winston Rodney, you got Dennis Brown, you have Bob, you have Peter. You can go all the way down. But there was something about Dennis, like he seemed to love life.
And he's a people's man.
What did he do after the show? He used to go play another show, didn't he?
I used to come, if we have a show being in Stuart Newington. He would leave. He's just headlining a show in Academy in Brixton. And there's a blues dance happening in Kingsland High Road.
Yeah.
Dennis Brown is coming in, he's probably giving us a better show
than he did
on the sound system than what he gave in Academy. Yeah.
You said that he was in Jamaica, that you would see him rolling down in his car and he'd have his roof off. He'd be smiling at everybody. He'd stop at the drop of a dime if anybody wanted to come take a picture or say hi or anything like that.
He's that kind of a person.
You see, man, those are the type of people that I always wanted to aspire to be. The Louis Armstrongs.
He's like that too?
Oh, Louis Armstrong, when he went to Ghana, they gave him a king's welcome.
Okay.
And when he goes to Louisiana, he would have the top off and always smile and talk with people. He was never, my grandma Mamie, she took me to the Armstrongs when I was 1 year old. Right before I was one, it was like 1970. And Louis held me when I was a baby. And this summer, yeah, he did. Because of my grandfather's stuff. He got him out of some situations with the Cotton Club. Okay. So my family and the Armstrongs were very good friends when they came to New York. But he had a New York accent coming out suddenly. But one thing about Louis, I went to New Orleans this summer, and I saw Louis Armstrong when he had the statue in the Congo Square. Hold on. We got a brethren that wants to buy something. Come on in through, brethren. Welcome to the TV show.
Thank you. Yeah.
We got to get a disclaimer to make sure This is real TV, y'all. Yeah.
Elmo James.
The TV is something. I'm putting out something. Yeah, it's good. Where you from, brethren?
From Lebanon.
Lebanon. Welcome. See, we're talking about the United Nations right here. There you go. A transaction has been made and is positive, and move forward. There we go.
Thank you.
Man, this technology thing, man. I remember when they used to have money back in the day. Yeah. Hey, have a good time, y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Where was he at, T? Where were we at?
You're talking about Louis Armstrong.
I was at Louis Armstrong Park. Congo Square, where you remember when the black slaves used to go in the French? They used to have the Sunday.
Hello.
Do you have anything from Pink Floyd?
No. Well, might as well.
What album are you after?
Pardon?
What album are you after?
I know one. Anyone, just like.
What's that one you mentioned?
Adam Hart Mother. It's Adam Hart Mother. It's got a cow on it.
I know.
You
Here,
got that one?
this one. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Must have to dig for that, man. So I have to ask them for it.
But Pink Floyd, man, imagine meeting up with Roger Waters. What a bro. That's one of my, when I was living in Holland, I always wanted to meet Roger Waters. He was the one person I thought, everybody, all the people that I know, I'm not going to name call. I always play homage. I never name call. I always play homage to the people because you can't sleep. But Roger Waters is out in the news right now, and I love what he's saying. I love Roger Waters, and I'm not against anybody.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, against bad man, people that are like still doing that apartheid thing. Because I asked some people before, they said, have you ever been to this particular place? I said, no, I never been there, but I've also never been to apartheid in South Africa, but I still know there was a Nelson Mandela to put a stop on it. Remember what we said. If the day that Nelson Mandela and Muhammad Ali died, what were we going to do?
You gotta remind me of that. What would you say? It
was a long time ago. I'm gonna remind you. We said we were gonna take a week off and think about the contributions and what they meant to us. Mandela and Muhammad Ali. I never forgot that. I'm surprised you forgot that.
Well, I wouldn't Muhammad Ali is one of my heroes from growing up, from young.
What did you do when either of them passed away? How did you feel?
I felt privileged that I lived in the time when they were in their prime.
Yeah.
I feel privileged that I was on the protest march to free Mandela.
Yeah.
And that we had an athlete and a figurehead in the form of Muhammad Ali, what gave us a lot of hope. It was somebody I always wanted to aspire to, because I thought that he had a lot of dignity, charisma, and confidence.
Yeah.
And he gave us that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always felt like you were Ali.
Yeah, and he talked his mind. He said he didn't shy away from what
Nothing.
he felt. You know?
Nothing and no one.
No, then that's for like I said, apart from the music, when it came to other influences, things what gave us confidence in ourselves. We had Muhammad Ali, we had the West Indies cricket team.
Richard Pryor.
Brazil football team. Yeah.
All of these people together made up everything for us. You know, that's why I feel blessed. Now, I have to give you an accolade. Because you and I have adopted that in our DNA, and it's been, and because what Ali and what Mandela did is, it wasn't something new that they came out of nowhere. They were reminding us who we are and the power and the energy of what we were. It was our history, but saying that we don't have history, because our DNA is right now, and all that has existed before is with us and in us right now. That's what I wanted that I look from them saying. Like, for Nelson Mandela to hold his fist in the air and say, you know, like, 1, you're weak. 2, you're stronger, but you're still not there. 3, 4, and then you get to 5, and then you 1 people. And Ali to put on them gloves right there and just be like, let me show you what you do with them once you fold up your fists. Bam! Sonny Liston. You know what I mean? And, you know, but when he hit the government, like, bow, when he went to the Indian reservation when remember that? When he went to the Lakota reservation, when they were in an armed revolt against the United States government, Leonard Crodog.
Okay.
That's Ali that came over there. And he said, like, I'm going to take some pictures with my folks. And I'm going to put on my fist like this to let them know that this is what we are. Whether you Papua New Guinea, whether you Australian, Maori, whether you from any part of the world, Ali just broke it down for everybody, let them know. You know, even Caucasian people couldn't do nothing but be like, yo, this man is special.
Yeah.
He gained, in Mandela, they gained the respect of every single human being across the planet. You couldn't say anything to them or about them. And that's what the governments do nowadays. So they want to make sure that they try to badmouth you, put you down, say you this, say you that, just try to get people against you. Like that, and then they try to come after you after that once they get the public back up. Then they come get you.
Yeah.
And that's a reality that we're dealing with. I'm sorry, man, but, you know, we got children to raise. We got to tell the truth about things now, you know, and our reality is that, you know, these little ones, everybody was saying, oh, the children are bad and this and that. I said, no, the children have my full backup. The children have my full love, and I believe in them 1,000,000,000%. How you feel about the future, man? What you think is going on? How you feel about now?
I think the young people then have a lot more to offer than what we think. A lot more. Yeah. And our leaders haven't set any good example for them, so we can't blame the youth for taking the law into their own hands.
Yeah.
Whether we agree or disagree, it's their time.
Yeah.
And they have to find different ways around the obstacles what we overcame.
Yeah.
Because there's new obstacles there now.
Yeah. From the same source.
Yeah.
And those
And they'll
sources.
get around it the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back them up.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Jamaican. That's always in reggae music. It's always like back up the youth.
Yeah.
Don't speak bad about the children, because if you raise them, then you're to fault. So if you don't believe in the children, then you failed yourself. That's what I feel.
In our future.
Yeah, man. Well, I've been wanting to do this podcast for a long time. And the reason I wanted to do it is exactly for what you're hearing right now. It's because people out there, you know, felt isolated during the COVID. And they still feel isolated. And, you know, they feel things are jaded a little bit. But when I came to Camden, people said to me, like, straight up, they were like, oh, Camden's changed, it's horrible. And this. I said, no, it's not. You're still here. And because you're still here, you made everything and everyone know that there's still a Camden alive. And when y'all come to Massive International, right here, this brother's still here. He doesn't.
It's still a hub. It's still a hub for characters.
Let me tell you.
This shop is a hub for characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with character.
That's
Characters with characters, a little bit different.
With character.
Lepke.
He's not here anymore, but we still feel his vibration.
Camden Fire. I'm glad I best have burn Camden.
Still feeling vibration.
Man, you know what's funny is that you and me always like we attract like all the crazies. Like everybody that's since I was a kid, all the people, if they was mad, crazy, and out of this universe, it was always they got attracted. My big brother Renard used to say that, like, why all the crazy people and different people? Oh, they always come up to you.
Because they feel comfortable around you.
Why do they feel comfortable?
Well, in a kind of a way, I mean, all right. Want of a better word, we're kind of misfits.
Yeah.
You know? so true that we're gonna attract people who they can't how would I say? They can't be another cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love them though. All them crazy people that we meet in Camden, New York, San Francisco, Miami is still a little pink and blue. But like, you know, when you go places, man, and you meet the real crazies and the real people that's just like, whatever, but let's have a good, no matter what your politics. Because when you play in front of an audience, you don't know who's voted for who and whoever's following what. I never say anything about politics. I think it's all about character. I try to stay out of politics and try to find the humanity of people, because when you find the humanity of people, you know that we're a species that adapts, that evolves. Instead of saying that is what you are, this is what you are, that because you did that is what you are. No, let's find an intelligent, not a medium, but a thing to make things more beautiful, more better for everyone.
Okay.
And you provide that here. And you get the craziest people that's off, like, doing their thing, and then you get some really famous folks. Like I said, I'm not name calling, I'm paying homage. There's a vast difference. I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I love music, I love act. I don't really like acting. I like the end result when you can see what you did, but acting is kind of boring. But I don't like getting up that early in the morning. But unless I'm out there to pray or go surfing or something. So, these people that you met, you got some heads that came in here, man. Who's a person, like somebody that's well known that you thought, man, this person, oh my God, and it made you go, oh, got out your comfort zone all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Who was that? Beside me, Tony. I know.
I don't name drop either, but it's not necessarily a name what makes you respect a person. You know, there's many individuals who are respected and admired for just the way they carry themselves. You know, they don't necessarily have a big name or superstar, but just the way they carry themselves.
Who's that?
Names. I already have told you about my cousin, Birch. Yeah, I like the way he carried himself. I like the way that he was able to communicate with
anyone,
all kinds of people, from the roughest street man to proper. When they were working with the Black House, William Whitelaw was a Home Secretary, and my cousin was one of the delegates for it because after the first riot at Carnival in 1976, a lot of the issues of black youths growing up in England came to the attention of Parliament now.
Right.
So they needed to address it and talk to a representative from the black community. Well, my cousin was one of them.
Right.
And he was able to articulate what was happening on the streets. Yeah. And Brother Herman and these people. This was the time around when we had that activist here called Michael X. It was like the British equivalent of Malcolm X.
Okay. What was his name?
Michael X.
Michael X. Another a brother from the Nation of Islam?
He was connected to the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was a controversial figure in the 70s.
So they had him in the news and tried to badmouth him.
Yeah, big time.
Slander him in the...
Yes, because of his
outspokenness, like Ali.
He was not even just outspoken, but he knew a lot about the establishment. Yeah. And he knew so much that they were weary of how to deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, now we got another history of places like that and people like that. Well, I just wanted to say, like, you know, we're doing a little bit of an outro. We got about 4 minutes left right now. Just because we got a few things to do. Everybody's got to set things up. Tony has his own, you know, he's still doing music. He's still playing music. I had this situation this year where I couldn't get into Glastonbury, which sucked. Like, really pissed me off, man. I didn't miss nothing because the lineup was terrible, man. All they had was Elton John. Elton John I go see, but that's about it.
Been there and done Glastonbury.
Yeah, man.
Glastonbury is another place what's lost its essence.
It really did.
From what it was when...
It really did. I hate to say it.
In the 70s and the 80s.
Because I loved it when I went. Yeah. In 2010, when I went, I told people what I saw, man. And the weather was beautiful and the people, man, I just think... It deserves, like, people that understand, the people that really make it work and can make it work and change it up. It's the same thing. Well, anyway, I don't want to talk bad about that because I did have my wonderful experiences back in the day. He's like, you know, and I want to respect that. You know, I played for 18 hours on them drums, man. Okay. 18 hours, me and Ben Badu. On them drums, 18 hours. I'm one of the longest people that have played a set in Glastonbury. But this year, I just did Stonehenge, we blew it up. And, you know, I like to see my brother Tony back on them festival scenes, because if y'all hear this man's sound when he comes in with his records and his music, man, you're gonna fall in love, because like when y'all hearing him right now, that's the man you're gonna see when you go to the sound system. And when you see the African Indians, that man right there, he's gonna open our shows up. If I got a show, you gonna be there playing that reggae sound before I get on stage. That's the way, because I don't even care. I just want my man traveling with me. I want my family together.
Okay.
I want Naya to get up there and scream at people on the mic till people start crying and glasses start shattering. You know, this is a world that we live in. Our brother right now is Collin.
That could happen.
That's right.
That could definitely happen.
That's what we're trying to make. Well, Collin is on right here. Hey, Collin, how you doing?
Good.
That's right. He's handling everything right there. Tony Randon, the one and only Massive International.
Give thanks.
And when we say Massive International, we say giving thanks. We want to say give thanks to you because we know you're going to come over to Camden Town, the middle yard, right across from Dingwalls, the place where the Sex Pistols, Motorhead, Freddie McGregor, who else played there? Come on. Aswad, Foo Fighters, Pink, all of them, African Indians. We've all been there, man. Amy, everybody played that venue. We're right across from that. Y'all come down there and see it. Because when you talk with the brother right now, you're going to see a real brother. Like, y'all can kick it with him. Now, I don't want to promote the type of cider that we be drinking until we get that, paycheck coming through. But it's pretty delicious. And we have 1 or 2 of those, man. And a little bit of the sacred herbs, man. And you know what? You're going to kick it with them. Come on and see your family down here. Support your communities. Play good music. Take care of your children, and don't slap your wives. It's not good. Hey, yo, Tony,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Massive.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. And we're going to see y'all next time.
Keep the positive vibes flowing, kid.
Yo, we're not going to stop.
Never.
Never going to stop.
Never.
And now we're going to say goodbye to y'all. Y'all have a beautiful night. Good dreams. Ahomita kuye oyasin. You're all related. You're all my relatives. We're all family.
Yeah.